The other star I wanted to get to this weekend, Stugotz, because this was fairly amazing to watch. If a pop culture moment unlike any other, Will Smith slaps Chris Rock, creates a million think pieces, and ruins a night for Serena Williams and Venus Williams that was supposed to be about Hollywood being woker after George Floyd and finally rewarding some people who are diverse. Will Smith
ruined his own night.
ruined his night, right. Ruined the night for the Williams family, though, that was there to celebrate. Now, keep in mind, Stugotz, the Williams sisters are as unique a story as ever been told in sports, to come from the same womb and dominate the sport.
It's crazy.
Out of Compton, and their father overran the country club, and they were racial pioneers. And Will Smith ends up on that night soiling it by slapping Chris Rock. If you had told me what's the way back, marketing team, because you have to understand, Will Smith, Stugotz, is as big a movie star as there's been. 8 consecutive $100 million movies. Nobody's done that before. Like, whatever you want to say about movie stardom, this guy was it at making giant hits.
I think I read 15 #1 box office hits.
Absurd.
We don't even make movie stars like this anymore. And as the box office suffers, Fury Road breaks at 30 million. If you had told me the marketing machine behind Will Smith, and man, it's a machine, Stugotz. The press he was doing last week was kind of like Seinfeldian for Netflix and that Pop-Tart movie where you're like, Will Smith's everywhere telling you, I'm back now, but I'm not talking about that. I'm coming back, and I'm not going to be.
I experienced it awkwardly. Because like we're trying to move past it and pretend like it didn't happen, and that whole thing was just so bizarre. I can't really get
all
over
of it. All of it's super weird. And would he make his way back? And how do you make it back? Like, this is a guy. I remember Bill Simmons wrote a great piece many years ago talking about like the formula to how Will Smith became a movie star. Do it with gadgets and aliens and giant spiders and whatever. And you could see the choices that he made to go from the uncommon story of rapper, television star, biggest movie star in the world. How do you come back from an incident where we're all like, you've been playing make-believe for 30 years. We feel like we know you. We like you. What was that? Like, where did that come from, movie star? We thought we buy your movies. We think we know you. Where did that come from? Why would you do that to Chris Rock?
And on the story arc, too, like his career was kind of, he had that awful Bright movie on Netflix where they were like crime-solving orcs, and he was done. This was a redemption story. This was a crowning moment on a career that had several twists and turns.
If you told me the 4th Bad Boys hastily put together, like they've been filming that in Miami and they were rushing that into theaters, that would open at 60 million and people are talking about it lifting the box office, I wouldn't have believed you. And I wonder,
60 million on the first day. Like I think it pulled in $100 million. I'm shocked by this.
I ask you again, back to Chris Cody's point of when Zion Williamson's shoe breaks, is Nike happy about it? Because any publicity is good publicity. It ain't terrible these days to be infamous too. Like, I don't know if that's just Bad Boys nostalgia, because I guess that speaks to some people. It does to me, but I was out after the second one. Like, they're getting more and more ridiculous.
Whoa, you were like, this second one's not good enough for me to watch another one?
That was
the
the best
second
one?
one?
No, after the second one,
No,
I was
the
like,
third one
I didn't bother with the third one because I saw what people were.
Because you were like,
second one.
Bad Boys can't get better than this.
Right.
That's right.
That was your logic.
It's been perfected. I wouldn't have chosen this as the path, the marketing path to how you reinvent Will Smith, how you get him back into the game.
Well, it's playing the hits, is it not? You're going back to one of your staples. You're doing it again for the 4th time, and people, I think it's nostalgia. I think that's exactly what it is.
But that would have been
It
your
took this
advice.
movie.
Would
Yes.
that have been your advice as
Yes.
opposed to why wouldn't you do it with Men in Black? Like, there are other things he could have done it
He had
with.
tried, like his career was on ice because he was doing sequels to Men in Black and nobody was really responding. I think this is one of the really surprising box office stories.
But we're like counting international tallies here to get to 100. Like, it didn't really do 100, and movie ticket prices are like $25 a ticket now. So
With
like,
international, did over 100. Though.
yeah, international.
Right.
When have we
Yes.
ever celebrated international openings? We've always done like U.S. box office is like 100 whatever million.
I mean, you're a huge Fast and Furious fan. Like that it is really built on its international box office success.
Yeah, but I'm just saying this wasn't like a huge $100 million opening weekend in reality the way we normally do it. Tickets are a lot more expensive, and we're combining worldwide now.
But what I'm saying is, if Stallone went through the same thing that Will Smith went through, I would say, yeah, go do a Rocky movie. Go do a Rambo movie. And so Will Smith got back to his roots, and people are enjoying it. That's what saved him. It's what saved his career.
Yeah, I think there's more to it. I don't know if it's the slap. I'm not really sure how this struck. We've always been doing worldwide box office, by the way, but he had been doing that. Let me go back to Rocky. Let me go back to these franchises, and people were out on him.
You have to understand, Stugotz, whether you want to parse the numbers or not. We talked last week about movie theaters are dying. 60 million in theaters, whether it's a lot less than it used to be, is still a giant number for something that's not anything other than Will Smith's comeback nostalgia tour. Like it's not one of when Fury Road, which has I would assume Fury Road's budget is much larger than whatever it is that Bad Boys' budget is. You just have to pay for your stars and 2 months of filming in Miami.
Yeah, but it was $100 million budget, and they made it back in week one. This wasn't a small picture. I thought it was a huge gamble, and you mentioned their marketing strategy. I found it kind of sad. Like they're going to throw first pitch in Marlins game, and they thought they were really amplifying Miami. And I was like, how is this going to resonate? All of this is awkward. And did it ever? Miss that one by a million miles. He's back.
My point was to all of you, would you, if you're the marketing team, you have the economy around this person is giant. However he gets back into the game is carefully crafted with him not speaking a word during the publicity about everything, about the thing that people want to talk to him
How can
about.
Martin Lawrence afford that house on a cop's salary?
It's an important question.
I got a theory is that they're drug cops and they never turn in the right amount of drugs. So
Right.
that's how he affords the
Yeah.
house. Yeah. So Mike Fuentes' theory, if anyone was wondering.
It's good that we bring him on the show. I like that. When
He
they're
used
not
to have a
even
Twitter thread
your
of every
thoughts.
movie he
Yeah.
watched for the year. He would tweet about
That's
it, give
great.
his review for
That's
the year.
great.
But I don't
Thank
think
you.
he's done it the past
If I
couple.
wanted
Follow him
them,
on
I'd
Letterboxd.
follow him. Then I'd
Well, he
follow
lost control of his account for a little bit. Someone took it over, and then he had to make a parody account of his own. He added a letter, and then he got regained control. It's a whole thing.
Tell us more about Fuentes, please.
You don't follow him on Letterboxd?
I don't think you
Oh,
want
he's
more.
great.
Waiting for him to watch
no,
Hitman.
Please. Just
I mean, in
like,
Billy's defense, we were stuck in the mud there. I mean, it felt like it. He was just trying to drag us out.
that is the greatest
Trying
way
to
to
help.
do it.
I was
Yes,
like,
read
I fancy
Fuentes'
myself.
Twitter account.
Fancy
That's the way
myself
to
a
do
tow
it.
not saying it
truck.
was good.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You stuck in the
Tow
mud. You
truck.
call me. I pull you out.
Quicksand. Throw me
tugboat?
anchors.
I connect my winch.
I'm in the quicksand, and
Pull
what
you
Billy
out.
does is he just starts throwing me a rhino.
No,
elephant.
quicksand. You got to stay. You got to stay calm. We went over this with
Fuentes,
Greg last week.
Yes, yeah.
Wait for
Yeah.
a vine.
Fuentes here.
Ooh, he rated Logan from 2017 4.5.
Oh, wow.
Out of what?
5.
That's good.
Wow.
Billy saved
It
it.
wouldn't have been my advice to Will Smith. Make another Bad Boys.